Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Thursday, May 15th, 2025, episode 1711, and Donald Trump is the president of the United States.
Wait a minute, was that your normal voice? I heard some like demonic stuff going on. What was
really?
that?
I don't know.
Did you do anything different?
No, I did nothing different.
Oh man,
it's weird.
Maybe I have a weird like perspective of you or something. I don't know.
Maybe you think I'm the devil. Anyway, for more, go to patreon.com/hardfactor. It's just Mark and I today, bringing you the best news. I'm excited about the ones I've got, especially one of them. I've got a triple parents' worst nightmare for you. And one of them is
in 3 sets of parents, or 3 things a parents wouldn't want.
3 things a parent wouldn't want.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 things a parent wouldn't want, and it ranges from.
Can I guess?
You can guess.
Their kid to be kidnapped.
That's one of them.
Yeah. I'll stop there.
That didn't happen though. That's one of them. Car accident, death. All the normal stuff.
Sure.
But it ranged. The stories go from a 3-year-old all the way up to now, however old the Menendez brothers are.
Yeah. Parents never stop worrying unless they're murdered.
Yeah, that'll stop them from worrying pretty quick.
Yeah,
just a couple shotguns to the
unless
face.
Their heads are blown off.
Yeah.
Shut the old worry system down.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I got some good stories too. I got some of the best dick graffiti art you'll ever see.
I love a good penis.
And then a very inappropriate act at a Lowe's.
Okay.
And then maybe I'll just play it right now. Get a load of this. This was Congress today, or I should say Wednesday, at one of the hearings for like the Trump spending bill. 3 Congress people fell asleep completely.
Mr. Moore.
Just out.
Oh, look at those pieces of shit.
Look at this fucking guy. He's making like 160 grand a year.
He's drooling.
You have to shake him awake. This guy's from Utah.
You mother. Wait, okay, does he have a cast on?
I don't know.
Okay, she's too old to be in Congress.
Yeah, one of these women's 80, one of them 71. That guy was 55.
She looks like a homeless person, that one.
Yeah. Kind of looks like Skip Bayless.
Yeah, it does. Homeless female Skip Bayless.
Yeah. And then the last one here. She's
holy shit, right up front too.
She's out. Yeah, it's 2 D's and an R, which is a wildly inappropriate porn name, but that's just yeah, that's what's going on in Congress.
You should lose your seat in Congress if you fall asleep. That is so disrespectful to the American people and your constituents. It is just offensive, quite frankly. That's the most offended I've been in a long time.
They just wake up and vote.
Yeah. They don't even know what they're voting on.
Yeah.
Hey, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican. How do you vote?
What a sweet fucking gig. Like to be 80, show up, fall asleep at work, collect a huge paycheck.
With some stock tips.
Stock tips, yeah, exactly. Like it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I'd fall asleep in Congress too, that's for sure. But
no doubt about it.
You can't if you're an elected.
But I'm not in Congress, so
right.
That's
right. I once fell asleep filming a science thing for Discovery Channel. I was in a room all day filming kids do science presentations. It's me on a stool on a tripod, and I nodded off.
Head?
No, but I nodded off and like jerked the tripod, and yeah, it was the most boring shit ever.
Yeah, and I get it. Those Congress hearings are boring, but you have to at least stay awake.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
Well, fuck them. They need to be fined or something. Publicly flogged.
Reappointed.
Yeah, reappointed.
Reelected.
Yeah. Okay.
Take us away.
Again, first one, we're going to just cover the biggest parents' worst nightmare. That is, of course, being brutally murdered by your own children in your own house, like the Menendez parents were by their sons, Lyle and Eric. And big update on those 2 brothers, those 2 murderous parent, what is it called? Parricide? Or
patricide,
whatever it's called.
Familicide, patricide.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those. They got resentenced on Tuesday. So we've heard they've been trying to get, some possible way out of jail because I was abused, so I shot my mom with a shotgun and blew her head off.
Right. My dad touched my dick a few
Yeah,
times, and I don't know why I
yeah,
killed my mom though.
yeah, my mom was innocent bystander, so I
Yeah.
shot her. And she was going along with it the whole time. She knew about it, so I shot her. I blew her head off.
Yeah, that's why I reloaded.
Yeah, I got more bullets to kill her more. Yeah, so they got resentenced. They've been trying to figure out a way to get out. Some of the evidence wasn't admitted in the second trial, as we've all seen.
Yeah, the cousin got a letter, and
right.
the child abuse. So
the child abuse stuff was not admissible in the second trial.
Right.
So they went to jail forever. But now, after some more, the documentary that came out, everyone was up in arms. Let them out, free the murderers, free the parent murderers. They got resentenced to now 50 years to life, which opens the door for parole, possibly immediately.
50 years to life. I don't know if they're in federal or state prison, but federal, they'd have to serve 80% of the 50.
They've served 35 so far.
So that's so state prison, they're already way past eligibility for parole. So they're pretty much just eligible for parole today. Next parole hearing.
Yeah. And, as we know, growing up in upper class white suburbia and having countless relatives in prison, the parole process can take months to years. So maybe they do get out, maybe they don't, but they're eligible right now. If they they can get in front of a parole board right now and be eligible for parole. And you could see them on the street next week.
What the hell are they going to do when they're free and there's no parents to murder? What are they going to do with all their time?
I don't know. They'll find some parents to murder, I'm sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't adopt them,
No. So from ABC News, after the resentencing, Eric Menendez released a statement saying, "I am touched and humbled by the outpouring of support, even though I shot my mom's head off." The brothers,
happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother. Exactly. Right after Mother's Day, they get resentenced for killing their mom.
Yeah.
The brothers watched Tuesday's anticipated resentencing hearing from the prison. And Lyle said, "I killed my mom and dad. I give no excuses," he told the judge. Eric told the judge, "I committed an atrocious act. My actions were criminal, selfish, and cowardly. No excuse, no justification for what I did." And their lawyer was like, "Shut the fuck up. Stop saying you killed your parents. There's no justification."
About your child penis.
Yeah. Talk about how your dad sucked your penis a little bit more. Yeah.
Well, we went over this.
Yeah.
Cry.
So we'll see what happens to them. That's the update on them. Much more to come.
I mean, they're obviously going to get out at some point, right? Whether it's this year or in 3 years.
I think one of them's going to get out and the other one isn't.
Yeah. It depends on which parole, but at some point they're going to get out and do a podcast. And that's just the way it is because everyone, thinks they're heroes or something.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's insane.
So we'll keep you updated on that. Next story. Mark, when you eventually become a dad in your midlife crisis in your late 40s, you will you'll get to worry about one of life's greatest fears, the worry and fear that your child might be one of the hundreds every year that gets attacked and mauled by a pit bull by the owner that swore it was friendly.
That's why I don't have kids with.
Yeah. And if your child survives, you have to deal with another thing parents worry about, something traumatizing their kid, like being attacked by a pit bull in the park and never wanting to be in the park again or outside again, being scared of all the other naturally non-aggressive dogs out there in the world.
It's also got to be scary, though, for the pit bull owners because the parents of the kids getting mauled by a pit bull, like they're in the park with a pit bull, not every time they're at the park. Right. But the parents of the pit bull, or the pit bull owners, I should say, are every time they're in the park, they're in the park with a pit bull that could attack a kid.
Yeah. It's a 50-50 chance, really.
Yeah.
And so it's the last thing you want to happen to your kid, especially, it's basically what I'm talking about is being traumatized, right? Yeah. Especially at that sweet spot of traumatization around 0 to 6 years old, when your kid might just be fucked for the rest of their life if they experience a bad enough, trauma event or fear, right? And
you can always tell a kid that got bit young,
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any childhood trauma you want to share before I keep going?
No, but like my best friend growing up got bit by a dog when he was young, and he's got a scar to this day.
Mm-hmm.
he's in the army, so he has to get his hair cut short, and he's got a big old scar all the way across his head because he got bit by a dog when he was like, when we were kids.
Yeah, trauma. It happens. Something maybe
Nice try, Wes.
Some people get over it. I don't know. I know there's something. So keep that in mind as we take a trip with a family from Tennessee, the Litton family. That's mom Cassie, who looks like she's 15.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
She's got the young person face disease.
She does. I was going to go this over at the end. We can just cover it now. She looks like she's 14, 15 years old. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's crazy how young. She looks like the babysitter you shouldn't have in your house.
Oh, now I've got questions about the husband. Okay.
Well, I think she's older.
I understand that.
He's just
she looks like she's 14. That's the whole point.
She's just youthful.
Okay. Very youthful.
Yeah, very youthful. Yeah. Anyway, they this past Thanksgiving they took a trip to visit family in Washington D.C. We've been there, grew up around there, and of course, it was on that trip that little Lainey, this adorable little 3-year-old girl, was traumatized, possibly for the rest of her life, in the most hilarious way possible. If a little girl being traumatized and developing an irrational fear can be hilarious, this is that story.
Okay.
Ford's Theater. You ever hear of it?
Yeah, okay. So I read this headline. That's where Lincoln was shot, right?
That's right. Yeah. Back on April 15th, 1865. Abraham Lincoln was shot in the back of the head, execution style.
By Menendez.
By John Wilkes Menendez.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. Handsome fella, with a .41 caliber Derringer pistol. And guess who learned about that on her trip to Ford's Theater?
Oh, the little girl.
Little 3-year-old Lainey. There she is. And
why would they do it? Why would they give her that whole spiel?
Yeah, well, she got the whole spiel.
What were they thinking? What?
She got the whole spiel. Now, according to her mother, she didn't tell the little girl that a man shot Lincoln in the back of the head and blood went everywhere. His brains were all over his wife and all that kind of stuff. She claims that she gave Lainey a dumbed down, tamer version, saying that a man named John Wilkes Booth hurt President Lincoln, and that's where Lainey's trauma and irrational fear of John Wilkes Booth started.
A man sent Abraham Lincoln to the farm where the family dog went.
Yeah, exactly. So this is from the article by Meredith Wilshire. She really held on to that, the mom tells us. Although the mother too tried to explain what happened a long time ago, Lainey believed the threat was still present. So she thinks that John Wilkes Booth is out there and he's gonna kill her. She also said there's a statue downstairs in the museum part of the theater. And then Lainey was like, "Is that him over there?" And she responded, "No, that's not him. That happened a long time ago." But Lainey was already gone. She was already on edge. And then they went for the presentation. And that's where they talked about Abraham Lincoln's assassination in depth. And it all went downhill from there. And she really held on to that. So, yeah, you took a 3-year-old girl to a presentation about how a kind man was shot in the back of the head. I think they went to the Holocaust Museum next.
Yeah, what were they thinking?
Yeah.
They watched Terrifier 3 afterwards.
Yeah. The mom said, quote, she was fixated on Abraham Lincoln the whole rest of the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's all these damn statues and stories about how great this guy is, and then John Wilkes Booth comes and wipes him off the face of the earth. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Mom, were you in the presentation I was in? Because John Wilkes Booth snuck up behind our president, shot him in the back of the head. Could happen
to me.
What the
hell are we doing in this theater?
Yeah, I watch cartoons with my head turned all the time, Mom.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they went to the Lincoln Memorial a few days later, Lainey recognized the
she
Lincoln.
Turns racist. She thinks it's because Lincoln freed the slaves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she said Lainey was like, "That's the man that got shotted." And now, even though they're back home in Tennessee, the mom says that this girl works in John Wilkes Booth into almost every day of her life. Cassie said that the mentions of John Wilkes Booth are not an everyday occurrence, but she does tend to find a way to work him into day-to-day conversations. For example, she said the other day they were at church Sunday and the preacher was talking about how Jesus loves us. And Lainey looked at her mom and said, "Mommy, I love Jesus." And Lainey said, "That's awesome. I'm glad you do." And then little girl said, "Jesus loves us." Or no, and then mom said, "Jesus loves us." And she was like, "Yeah." And then she said, "You know who we don't love?" And little girl was, and the mom was like, "Who?" And she said, "John Wilkes Booth."
At church?
So
no.
Mom said
it's on her mind all the time now.
It's on her mom. She can't. She's fixated on John Wilkes Booth and what a terrible guy he was. And she said, "quote It's not something that we tried to bring up to her, but she's aware that John Wilkes Booth was not a great guy. Yeah, she figured that out real quick in the historically accurate, cold-blooded murder presentation he took her to, right?
Yeah.
And now, worst of all, at night, Lainey isn't worried about monsters under her bed. She's worried about who under her bed.
No,
motherfucking John Wilkes Booth
under the bed. She has to have him check for John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah.
Oh, they deserve it though. They deserve the check.
Mom said she was afraid to lie in her bed one night, and I said, "It's okay. You're safe. You're in your room. Nobody can bother you in your house." And she said, "Yeah, but what if John Wilkes Booth is under my bed? What if he's hiding? And what if John Wilkes Booth is going to off me like he did Lincoln, Mom?
Yeah,
like literally, that's what she's like. What if John Wilkes Booth is under my bed?"
Yeah, she's like, I don't think you guys are at the same presentations you brought up earlier. She's like, I don't know why you guys are so calm about this. Are you listening to what happened?
She goes to school and her friends are bitching about like their older brother.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, well, at least you don't have an assassin like John Wilkes Booth under your bed.
Living under your bed. Yeah.
I got real problems over my house.
Tiller with the funny live comment. He says, this is coming from an attendant at Ford's Theater back in 1865. He goes, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the show?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they've tried to explain to little Lainey that he's dead, he's not on this planet anymore, but she doesn't give a fuck. To her, he's alive and well under her bed with the Derringer and trying to steal her stuffed animals and execute her. And what's crazy is that this is after this viral video, I'm not going to show you because it's pointless, went like 14 million people about like how Cassie's now traumatized by John Wilkes Booth. She said that a lot of people came out of the woodwork and were like, I got traumatized the same way when I was a kid and went to Ford's Theater.
So why are they letting kids
I don't know.
hear this whole fucking deal?
Yeah.
He was a very important man, but we don't need the kids to hear how he ended his life.
Yeah.
Wasn't
He's like a hero who got brutally murdered.
Yeah, we don't need the murdering part.
Yeah. By a guy that looks like every guy on the street. And then after
by a guy who snuck past security.
Yeah. By a guy with a mustache.
Yeah.
And then after hearing about this little this trauma that Lainey has, the Ford Theater reached out and they sent her a fucking t-shirt. This t-shirt she's wearing, vote for Abe, always honest. So now she's got a constant reminder.
How
of
come
John
the back
Wilkes
of the
Booth.
shirt has the view of a blown off head?
Yeah. So Cassie said they plan to take a trip to Poland next year to visit Auschwitz.
This is on the parents. I mean, you can get up and leave the presentation,
Yeah. Fucking crazy. But yeah, Cassie looks like she's 12.
Yeah, she's too young to go. The mom, ridiculous. They're like, who's scared? Was it you? Were you the child that was scared? She's like, no, I'm 35.
Yeah. Fucking wild.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're scared, if you're anxious, a good thing to do is work out. Get rid of those nerves. Get rid of that stress, right? We've got a partner, a sponsor, Fitbod. Ever heard of them? And they are they are a personal trainer on the go, in your pocket, on your phone, on your computer. Fitbod is the best personal trainer. You don't have to go to a location and pay for a personal trainer. You can pay like a lot less than that, and you can have them in your pocket. And Fitbod has like 6 different features of like, what do you want to do? You want to get ripped? You want to get lean? Like you can tell it like what's your goals? You want to lose weight? You want to get gains? You can tell it like what level you're at, a beginner, intermediate, advanced. Tell it what body parts you want to work out specifically. Just literally select the body parts, what time of day, and then
I want to fuck more people.
That's pretty much.
I want to fuck more people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they like body.
And then they say less, and then they just send you a plan. Also, Fitbod has over 1,000 like demonstrations of how to perfectly do every exercise, whether it's with or without equipment, because you can do a bunch of exercises with or without equipment. So you tell them, I work out at home. I don't have anything. I don't have anything. I don't plan on buying any fucking things. I just need to, I don't even need to wear clothes, do I? No, I don't. So how do I work out? And I'll tell you, or you can say, I got the nicest, Yeah, I've got a wall. You could say, I've got a floor. You can say, I go to the nicest gym in town and they have every piece of equipment. How do I use it? They'll teach you how to use every piece of equipment or no piece of equipment, just your body to work out, get in better shape. They push you past your plateaus and stuff. They're the best. Create a personal workout plan with Fitbod. And guess what? You can level up your workout and join Fitbod today to get your personalized workout plan and get 25% off your subscription or try the app free for 7 days at fitbod.me/hard factor. That's fitbod.me/hard factor. You might as well try it. 7 days for free. What are you doing? Go for it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, Wes. Do you have any good Lowe's stories?
No, and I am a Lowe's guy because it is the more convenient of the two, and the one that's near me is better than the Home Depot.
Me too. Same. Yeah. With you. Lowe's over Home Depot. Sorry about you. I have one, pretty good one. We took Honey the Beagle to Lowe's a few years ago, shortly after we got her, and she was potty trained, but I guess we didn't let her outside right before we went to Lowe's, or didn't take her on a walk. So we walk in the huge sliding doors right in the front, not the main. We went in the main entrance, and not 2 feet in, she squats down and takes an enormous shit in the center of the store, and like cashiers and customers saw it, and we big stinky shit, not good. We tried to get it up with a poop bag, but I mean, good luck fully getting a wet shit off smooth whatever surface floors Lowe's has. Yeah, it just smears. So we just turned around and left and didn't fix whatever light bulb or whatever was going on in our house for months after that.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to continue shopping after.
No, yeah, we just left. Toilet will get fixed later. Yeah.
There's a streak on the floor. You hear him calling for pickup as you drive away.
Oh yeah. We didn't go back to that Lowe's for a while and didn't bring Honey back. Yeah. And now we walk her before we go anywhere indoors. But that was nothing compared to what happened to a Slidell, Louisiana Lowe's recently. Much bigger scene there, as a customer called the cops around 5 p.m. on May 11th to report a man's unusual activity in an outdoor shed section. They're like, someone's like being real shady in the sheds in the Lowe's.
Yeah, because they line those things up outside in the parking lot, right?
Yeah, it's like the overhang with like the outdoor section, like it's half covered or maybe not covered at all.
Sometimes they just line them up in like the far end of the parking lot.
True.
Yeah.
True. This was, I believe it said in the outdoor section, and sometimes they do both. You're right. Like the grills, sometimes they bring them out front if they're trying to sell.
Yeah.
But I believe this was in that outdoor gardening section that had maybe a bit of an overhang, but it's out there. So the cops, they show up and they start opening sheds one by one, like a tense horror scene movie. They're like, and then like door number one, shed number one, nothing. And then you go to shed number two, and they're like, shed number two, they open it and there's nothing. Same thing for shed number three. It's empty, beautiful shed. But when they opened the doors to shed number 4, they saw a man with his pants around his ankles and a jar of Vaseline in one hand and his cock in the other, and some sort of, quote, electronic device, masturbating vigorously. Guy was about to come like the Dickens, Wes.
That's the jackpot shed.
Yeah. It's Wes's shack is what it is.
It is Wes's shack.
This homeless man was he was going to lose his mind.
He's testing it out.
And then he's like, wow, there's a perfectly good shed here. And he was beating it off real hard in the shed.
Vaseline too, huh?
Yeah.
Man, it's been so long since I've masturbated with Vaseline.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever have, but
back in the beginning.
Yeah.
Beginning for sure.
So the cops draw their tasers on him and said, turn off all electronic devices, put down the Vaseline and lie down with your hands behind your back. Both hands, you sick fuck. And he complied. And then so he didn't resist. And then he admitted that he was masturbating after something on YouTube caught his eye. That's what's being reported. I don't know if the cops misheard him, didn't hear you jizz or you porn or cum tube or porn you or splooge tube or your loads or splatter tube or one of the other ones, but it was officially listed as he was jerking off to YouTube.
Was it I want to imagine he's just in there and it's pitch black and he's just jerking off in the pitch black.
I think everyone could hear him. I think that's why they called the cops, is because they could just hear this dude in the pitch black jerking off.
I've never jerked off in complete pitch blackness.
I might try it.
Yeah, I might try it.
Couldn't be. And how much worse could it be?
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it's gotta be fine.
You could lose your jar.
Well, yeah, you might bump your elbow on like a
Yeah.
nightstand or something, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's fine. Yeah.
This guy's jar in one hand and his dick in the other.
Yeah. He was arrested in Slidell, Louisiana for just absolutely masturbating in a shed.
Just sweating in the pitch dark.
Yeah. You got me.
Yeah.
YouTube my ass.
Took you so long.
Yeah.
Wow, I mean, better than out in public for sure.
Yeah, it's Wes's shack.
Yeah.
He literally, this guy is the poster child.
Yeah.
For Wes's shack.
He didn't shoot up the Lowe's, probably because he found the shack.
No, he was so calm afterwards that he gave no resistance to the cops. Now your shacks would have a lock, so this would be,
yeah, and they'd have some lights in them. We wouldn't make you masturbate in the pitch dark in Western.
Maybe a little air conditioning. May in Louisiana and a shed.
Little power too, maybe.
A little humid in a Slidell, Louisiana Lowe's shed on May 11th.
Yeah, I imagine.
Still a little swarmy in there.
He's fighting the pass out in there.
Yeah, but he has to. He has to stay in there because there's so many there's foot traffic going on.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Pitch black, but you can hear footsteps outside.
Yeah,
that'll get you going.
Yeah, there you go.
Some voices, little footsteps.
Did you guys see that guy go in the shed 15 minutes ago and he hasn't come out?
Yeah, the Vaseline jar with him.
Yeah, he is definitely not watching YouTube.
That's amazing. All right. Okay. All right. Got my last parents' worst nightmare, right? As your child gets older, Mark, you start to worry about other things, right? Getting mixed up in the wrong crowd, car accidents. My son's about to get his learner's permit in like 2 weeks.
Stress.
Drugs. If it's a girl, you of course worry about them being kidnapped and sold into sex slavery for the rest of their life.
Pregnancy.
That'd be my biggest fear if I had a teenage daughter and was, traveling or whatever.
Right.
And for one UK family, the fears of what can happen to your teenage daughter came true less than 2 weeks ago, right after Easter. But don't worry, this story has somewhat happy ending. All right.
For the traffickers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they're the dime a dozen. This chick is.
Hey, they're people too.
Yeah, they are. Here she is, 18-year-old nursing student from the UK, Bella May Cully. She's cute, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. There's a couple bikini pics for you, for your eyes. And she's lucky to be alive, but Bella is in big trouble and is now the poster child for one of every parent's worst nightmares when their kid goes on vacation, and that is, I guess, being turned into a drug trafficker.
Big time. Yeah. You
so
go to
Bella,
a foreign country with just a small.
They made a whole show about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was coerced into drug trafficking by
It's usually girls around that age that don't go with like a big group of people.
By an Asian. Yeah. Bella went to the Philippines with a friend after Easter to do some, I guess, relaxing and sightseeing. She was posting on social media as she does. And then on May 3rd, she went to Thailand, which is the mecca of sex trafficking, as we know. If you're going to get kidnapped and sold into sex trafficking, it's going to be in Thailand.
You need to go with a group or not be a teenage girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So when her family hadn't heard from her since May 3rd, they were like, oh, great. She's been kidnapped, probably having sex with disgusting old men against her will over there in Thailand. And the parents said on May 3rd, the last message she sent was to me. This is from the mother. And that was on Saturday at 5:30, saying she was going to FaceTime me later. That was the last message anyone received from her. What we can figure out
terrifying.
Up to now. Very terrifying. Hey, I'm in Thailand. I'll FaceTime you later. And then she
just waiting for that FaceTime that's never going to come is not good.
Oh, dude, it's terrible. So her father and sister then flew to Thailand to find her after she went missing for more than a week.
That's not going to be an easy task.
Yeah. Luckily, her dad didn't jump to his death in Thailand.
Okay.
But he probably wants to now because Bella was found, luckily, but she was found thousands of miles away after she appeared in court in, how do you say this? Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia.
Okay.
For what? For trying to smuggle 30 pounds of weed through the airport.
The hell was she doing in Georgia?
She was trying to smuggle 30 pounds of weed into Georgia. Yeah, there's the weed that they found on her. And to make matters worse, on top of being currently held in the Tbilisi prison number 5, which is Georgia's only female prison, and was described as severely overcrowded with conditions that were degrading, inhuman, and an affront to a civilized society by Human Rights Watch report in 2006. This is according to the New York Post article by Anthony Blair. On top of being in prison and facing 15 to 20 years if found guilty of this drug smuggling, she also announced that she's pregnant.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is there's one of two things that happen. Most likely the bad thing where some criminal adult man threatened her or coerced her into doing this, and then raped or coerced her into sex and got her pregnant. That's the most likely outcome. Or she decided to do a bunch of crazy shit with a guy in Thailand that was mixed up and stuff.
Yeah, there she is in her first court appearance in the Georgia court, which you can imagine is fair.
They couldn't get her appropriate attire.
No, they gave her. They still
her Daisy Dukes.
I think that's what island is that? Is that Thailand or what? Philippines that she's got on her shirt.
Yeah, she's got no bra and like skimpy clothes on in Georgia court. Yeah,
belly shirt. Yeah. So, if found guilty, legal expert Jamal Janisha told the Daily Mail that she could face 15 to 20 years and said, quote, "The fact that she was detained by Crimpol's Special Task Department suggests this wasn't a random search, but a planned operation. And the quantity of drugs found on her makes it hard to remain optimistic. It's a grim situation. People have been sentenced to 8 years or more for possessing 20 times less in the past decade. And drug offenses are one of the key priorities of the Georgian police."
Yeah, but if she was coerced, she'll probably get away, but then she's going to have to roll on this criminal organization that's going to kill her. It's a tough situation. I mean, what a story for this kid. Probably the grandparents are going to get the kid eventually if she's in jail.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what do you say about, how you were born and mom? That's a maybe you never say anything about it.
Yeah, and the problem for
take them to Ford's Theater at 3.
Right. The problem for Bella also is that she liked to post on social media a little too much and flaunted huge stacks of cash in videos she posted on TikTok and Instagram. She also reportedly compared herself to historical criminals Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay, so maybe she did make some of these decisions herself.
Yeah, she was into the life that she was either coerced into or decided to go with, and that's not going to go over well in a Georgia court. If they see her laughing with stacks of cash, and she's in trouble.
Georgia has no sense of humor. That country,
no. 15 to 20 years.
There's absolutely zero stand-up comedians from Georgia. It's like being gay in Russia.
Right.
Like, you don't tell jokes in Georgia.
Yeah,
everyone knows that. You don't fuck around.
Yeah. Going back to the masturbating in pitch dark, Taylor says, "Forget whose hand is whose though."
Oh,
not really.
Little tandem action.
Not really. Yeah. You always know. You always know if you got a dick in your hand, even if it's pitch black.
Did my whole dick go numb? Oh, that's your dick. Speaking of dicks, good segue. Big news story out of Peru. Hey, you're dealing with a punk teenager, right, Wes?
Oh my God, am I?
Well, you don't have to say his name, but do you want to elaborate for the people that don't have Patreon?
Yeah, basically, I paid a 13-year-old in my neighborhood who I saw mowing a lawn one day. I stopped and said, "Hey, you want to mow lawn for money?" He said, "Yeah, sure." Seemed like a nice kid, and I said, "Okay, how much?" And he said 20, and I said 25 because I was being fair because I think that's a fair price for my lawn in today's
20.
Day and
what
age.
Is this 1990?
Exactly, that's what I got paid back when I was doing it.
Yeah.
So he comes over, he mows the lawn once. I leave him the $25 cash. The next time he comes over, I don't have $25. All I have is $100.
Oh,
so I say, "Hey, buddy, is it cool if I leave you $100 and I have credit for 3 more mows after today?" And he said, "Yeah, that's great. That's fine." So now he's refusing.
There are adult contractors that get paid up front and don't finish the job.
I know. My parents got screwed by one. Yeah, and so he came back. And after much coercing, did it one more time, and now he's telling me basically to go fuck myself with the remainder of the $50. He came back and mowed my front lawn, and said we're even. And I said, no, I don't think so, buddy. So
Hasn't
I've been
calling you like a stupid adult.
He's calling me a stupid adult, saying I have $50. Why are you talking to a 13-year-old kid?
He's laughing at you.
Yeah, he's calling me buddy and pal.
Wow. So he's a punk kid.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that kid should move to Peru because he'd fit right in. As recently, a teenager was caught in the latter part of the act of spray painting an enormous penis on an ancient historical wall. Do I have this penis thing? Where is it? It's there's the kid. Look at the size of the penis.
That is a big old penis.
That's a 30 foot. Yeah, that's a 30-foot cock easy.
Oh yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. So he went to a historic site in Peru. He went to, I mean, Guinness needs to send someone down there to walk that thing off and rule on it. That's 17 steps, heel to toe, easy, size 10 men's shoes, and then a new world record probably.
Yeah. Pull it up one more time. And he looks like he had to go around like some like historical like marks in the wall to make so this the dick has a little bit of a bump, and he added some nice veins, some nice hair to the nuts.
Yeah,
like he's working on the tip. Right
He's working
there.
on the head. He's working on the head. It's a huge cock. It's amazing that he even kept it as straight as it was around those things. But I mean, by the way, you got to walk it off. You can't use a tape measure for this. You got to go butchie style. And then when you get less than a foot length, you got to use your fingers, like three fingers. No, that's three. You know what I'm talking about? You ever measure off butchie?
Jared Lindsay's thinking the same thing I said. That's an uncircumcised cock that he's drawing.
Well, he's not finished, but sure. Look, I mean, based on the length of that cock and where the head is, proportionately, that's probably uncircumcised.
It's an uncut.
The head would have to be another foot in length if it was circumcised. Yeah. It's a huge cock. The wall the kid peened is an ancient archaeological site. That's the walls of Chan Chan, a pre-Columbian archaeological site that dates back over 600 years. Here it is from overhead. It's beautiful. Wow. It's a registered UNESCO World Heritage Site, for Christ's sake, whatever that means. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to draw penises on those.
No. not that size.
Yeah, he could have worked on a little one no one would have seen.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to see that from like a plane could see that. Now, I guess this image or video of the kid has gone viral, and the archaeology community is losing their shit. They're dropping terms like, quote, serious lack of respect, and calling it, quote, a violation of the norms that protect archaeological heritage. Pretty stern words.
Yeah, it's about as stern as they can get over there in the archaeology department.
Call the kid a fucking shithead, Dumbasses. Chan Chan was the capital of the Chimu Kingdom before it was taken over by the Incas in the 15th century, as we all know. Not even worth mentioning, really, but it looks beautiful. And besides the 3-story horizontal cock and balls now.
I mean, that's the coolest thing going on there, probably.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, kind of what you want after a long day of looking at the same bullshit. You stumble upon a kid drawing a huge uncircumcised cock on a conservation.
Yeah. Could you imagine
historical site?
You're like walking up to it and you're like, hey, I think that's a cock. And someone's like, no, there's no chance. That's an enormous cock on the Chan Chan walls. It's just not possible. No, it is.
That's a huge cock.
They have not been able to identify or find the punk kid yet, but they are planning on trapping him by setting up giant, irresistible walls around town.
Yeah. Smooth walls all around town.
Yeah. He's not going to hit Chan Chan again. He knows the HSO there, but just throw up a wall and he'll be there. Yeah, he got him.
He left his mark. He got him. He's done with Chan Chan. Moving on.
He's going to have to how do you top that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
Yeah. You got anything else?
No, nothing. That's it.
Tory Lanez got stabbed 14 times. The guy that shot Megan Thee Stallion, the rapper. I don't know if he's dead or not. Yeah. He's in jail. He got stabbed. He has a collapsed lung. He was in critical condition yesterday. I don't know if he's alive or not, but Tory Lanez, the rapper who shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot, might be dead, or he's in critical condition. So
yeah, prison can do that to you.
Even famous rappers sometimes get in a little bit of violent situations in prisons. Not good. Stay out of them if you can. And that's the show.
Wait, one more from Tiller. Coxie. I like that.
Tiller's on
brilliant.
fire today.
That's brilliant, Tiller.
Tiller's on fire.
Coxie.
It's the origin story for Coxie. He's like the guy from the HBO thing. The what's it called? New Zealand guy. Fuck you, miss. That drew all the penises. Yeah. High School High. High School High. Yeah. All right, that's it for us. We're out of here. Have a great fucking day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
The cream of the crop!